Welcome back to the Rewind Tournament Expert Division opening round, hole number 3. Here we're going to be playing a Sniper Rough Bump. You can use either a King Slayer or a King Maker. I would recommend King Slayer P3 Wind 4 if you have it. Um, but I have tested this with a King Maker and it works. You just need a couple of minor tweaks when you get the higher winds with the Kingmaker, and I'll go over those. The drive here is P3 plus 5% max, 3.2 top spin and 3 left spin. We're starting off with a quarterback. So with your P3 ball and your QB 9 plus, you're going to want to have the blue ring touching the rough on the left, on the right, like you see there. Then 3.2 top spin and 3 left spin, right? Just like that. Then you'll switch to your APOC sniper bag and adjust P3 plus 5% max. For me, I found it a lot easier to push this adjustment. Sometimes you have to zoom out a bit, but even with that, it's still easier to push it in my opinion, because if you try to pull this and you have to zoom out, you have to zoom out even further because that tree right behind where we're at is really tall, and it's just gonna get in your way when you try to pull that adjustment. We're using curl, and I want to show you what I'm looking at when we do curl here. So if you're using a Kingmaker and you got a higher wind, you're going to need to add a little bit more OP than what I'm going to do here. But standard winds below 8 miles an hour, what I'm looking at is the left side of my ball touching the triangle there, and then the bottom of my ball touching the triangle there. See, it's just a click off right now, but you want that touching, right? So touch in both locations, and that gives you the correct amount of curl and the correct amount of power. You'll see here I've got a higher wind, so I'm going to actually add a little bit more. I added another click of OP there to where my ball, the bottom of my ball, was just inside the triangle on the bottom because I had a high wind, but I really should have added a little bit more. So one click in wasn't quite enough here. I mean, it's still fine. I still make the shot. It's just you got to count. We're counting rings from in, and if you the shorter your drive is, the more rings you got to count, right? So ideally, you want your drive to be 320 to 324 ish, and that will give you, between say 4 and 7 or 8 rings to count from min, which is pretty easy. If you come up too short, you're going to end up counting over 10 rings, and we're just trying to avoid that. But that's the curl you want. Hit perfect. Like I said, I had a king wind here. I added an extra click of OP, but I should have added a couple of extra clicks of OP because this one ends up 318, and I'd like to see that closer to 322, right? But 318 is fine, and you'll see here. So we're using 4.5 top spin only for the approach. The adjustment is P3 minus 20% at slider. We're counting rings from min. And with spin added, what you want is the tip of the ball guide just going into the front center of the cup. All right. If you have winds between 8 and 8.5, add 0.1 to the adjustment. If you have winds between 8.6 and 9.1, then add 0.2 to your adjustment. All right. Other than that, make sure that the ball guide is just going into the front of the cup. You do not want it to be going through the cup. If you put the ball guide through the cup, then you're going to come in too hot and it's not going to play the same. So just make sure with spin added, the tip of the ball guide is just into the front of the hole. Count your rings for min. 1 is 3%, 2 is 5, 3 is 8, 4 is 11, 5 is 13, 6 is 16, 7 is 18, 8 is 21, 9 is 24, 10 rings for min is 27 slider, 11 is 29, 12 is 32, 13 is 35, 14 is 38, and 15 is 41. All right. Tip of the ball guide just into the front of the cup, but not through the back of the cup, and you want it aimed center cup. All right. Pull this one as straight as you can. What I would say here, if anything, I would favor an 01 flicker over a 59 flicker. All right. But that's me and my pull style, right? It may be a little bit different for you. So I definitely recommend you practice it. Make sure that you're getting the same sorts of results that I am. And hopefully you're walking away from hole number 3 with the Albatross free to play. Wish you guys the best of luck, and we'll catch you on the next hole.